You say modern dating sucks and it's so hard to find someone to actually date. I've never dated anybody before in my entire life, and it's because men are just god awful these days.
Well, I don't want to say all men. I feel like it's the same for women, because like my brother says the same thing. He's like, women are awful, and I'm like, yeah, I feel like both equally are pretty freaking awful. But no, just the men I met. But you are right. Like when you're like, oh, I feel like the men you meet are like pretty trash. Like the guys that I get situationships with, I feel like that's my problem. Is like I attract just the wrong kind of guys. But also I feel like with me, if a nice guy meets me, I'm like what she was saying. She's like, oh, they're too boring. Like,
yeah,
it's not like it's not giving a little spice, a little kick.
What makes a guy boring?
For me, I like to play games, like even if in a relationship, like not games where I'm like cheating on them or anything like that. Just like I like to mess with their head. So I like a guy to mess with my head too.
How do you mess with guys' head?
Like with the whole sex thing.
What else?
I'll, like,
There's other stuff.
I'll leave him on red. I'll like like if I like a guy, I never even let him know. Like
you like him to chase you.
Yeah, I like him. I like the old chase.
This is way beyond chasing.
But I just like if I like a guy, like he will literally never know. I never text guys first, ever. I'll
be on that phone.
But okay, I mean, you said that you've never dated anybody in your entire life because men are just god awful. But given what you've said, could it be you who's god awful?
I am toxic. I've had guys tell me that. I know I'm toxic, but
so you are what you like. You're gonna attract those kind of guys.
Okay. Yeah. You're right.
So,
but how am I gonna find a guy to get in a relationship with me? I'm like scared. I feel like that's not gonna happen.
Well,
you'll find someone.
The thing is that there's a lot of simps out there who will tolerate bad behavior in women, who will tolerate toxicity, because there's a lot of lonely men out there who don't get laid. And
Raven DT donated $100. Nick, I hope you are taking notes of all of these red flags. There will be a quiz after the show.
Okay, who's quizzing me?
The chat. And God. Okay.
Oh, God. I'll definitely respond to comments later. Yeah.
What were we talking about? We're talking
men
about how
being god awful.
Your toxicity.
Yeah, my toxicity.
I think that's a generalization, though. You could generalize the genders in any way, you know.
Like, but I have to agree, because I'm into men and women. Like, women are very stuck up as well too. Same with men. So it's like it's very equal. I shouldn't say just men, but men and women.
Grid One Motorsports donated $100. Some poor sap is going to catch a case over Red and her games. Where have all the good men gone? To women who actually want them, why can't you find a good man? Good men do not want you. You will not find someone. They will see you coming a mile away.
Good men do want me, and they think they can tame me, but they can't. I ruin them.
You what?
I ruin them.
You ruin good men?
Yes.
Why?
Why?
Have you ruined a good man before?
The last guy I filmed with was a really good man, but I didn't like ruin him. Like I didn't like do anything to him. I feel like I just broke his heart. He would tell me he has feelings for me, and I was like, oh, it's funny.
You asked why? Why do you?
Why do I do that?
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a defense mechanism, because I I'm very scared to be in a relationship, because I've seen a lot of toxic relationships in my life. Pretty much every relationship I've had or not for me, but like people I've seen in my life have been like in really toxic relationships, and I've seen it go really, really bad. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, I don't want that to be me, like at all. And I'm just really scared of love. Like I really am. I like love it at the same time. Like I used to want to be in a relationship so bad and everything, and I would like try to like, you know, lower my behavior and stuff, but it's just like I don't want to like do that just to like find somebody. Like somebody would like me for me, you know. I don't want to like just lower my personality or like my sex drive and stuff like that. So
Interesting.
But yeah, long story short, I'm just like afraid of love. So like I feel like it's a defense mechanism. When guys are like have feelings for me, I get kind of like scared. Like I literally like ghost them and shit like that, because I just like don't want to deal with that. Do you want a relationship? I do. I want like a husband. I want a whole bunch of kids. I want to live in like freaking Montana in like a little country house, and like I want that so bad. Like I really do. But at this point in my life, I'm 21. Like I don't think that's.
You have plenty of time.
Yeah. Like I don't need to be like tied down in a relationship right now. I definitely don't want to.
I mean, now you could argue is actually the best time to find somebody. Not when you're
why is this the best time?
Because it gets harder and harder.
It gets harder.
Because you're young
Yes.
right now.
Oh really?
Here, go into that. Why?
So I'm 31 again. It gets harder because everyone that you start dating not only has baggage, but then you also accumulate more emotional damage. So the more guys you go through, the more you're going to be messed up in the head, the more undoing that you're going to have to do for this person that you're looking for. And like, besides being like sexually a virgin, you want to be like as much like a virgin mentally as much as possible for this person that you're looking for. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it gets harder and harder from your own personality and the own things that you've built up, and then also whoever you're dating, also everyone out there, like at my age, has kids, has been through narcissists, have been abused, and like now we're trying to come together and like form this thing, and like it just doesn't work as magically as it does when you're younger and you try to start something like that.
Yeah.
The older you get, you just got to lessen your standards, and some
Or
of
like
the people you see aren't gonna check all your boxes like you want them to when they're young, and they have the options to.
Now
the
it's like
dating
no
pool
one
is
will ever
fresh.
check all your boxes at this age. Now you kind of have to just settle for it.
Kemper donated $99. McKenna, you say you attract all the wrong
Facts.
guys, but I think you reject the right ones.
I think you're right too.
Oh,
I
sweet.
think
Yeah.
I just am very afraid to be in a relationship, but I need to learn that vulnerability. And like that's what I was talking about with a guy one time. He was like, that's the whole point of being in a relationship, is to be vulnerable with that person. Like you trust that other person. And like I have major trust issues. Like I'm like very scared to be vulnerable with somebody, but I feel like that's something that I do need to experience, and that I definitely want to experience, but I'm just, like I said, I'm very scared too.
It's much easier to be afraid of something that you've never done before. But once
where
but
did
once
you-
you get through that experience of doing it, whatever it is, it doesn't not just relationships, literally anything. It's a lot when you get more comfortable, and you can even reflect like, okay, maybe it's not gonna go perfect. It 100% won't, because humans aren't perfect.
Yeah.
You know, but maybe just giving that opportunity to have that experience will take away that fear. You know, because it's not new anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did
Definitely.
your trust issues come from? Your parents?
Yeah, parents, friends, men. Yeah, pretty much everything. When I was in high school, and I before I was even a model, people kind of put me on this pedestal because they already knew that I was, you know, going to be a model or like be something. So they put me on this pedestal, and I never did that to myself, but people saw me and put me up there, and then people would be like, they would be my friend, and they would use me because they thought they were going to get something out of it. And yeah, it was some very toxic friendships. And like I'd always, whenever they try to like, we would be like stop being friends, they would come back in my life, and I would take them back, and then they'd fuck me over again. So
That's never gonna stop. It's just about how you were able to bounce off.
I
those
know,
people
now I'm,
throughout
like,
life.
better with
If anything, it
friends.
gets worse.
Filter
no,
them
now
out.
I'm better with friends and stuff. I literally have like 3 just close friends. I really like don't trust a lot of people and don't let people in my circle
That's
anymore.
good.
So
I have a question for the table related to this. So it sounds like for you, you feel like a lot of men are awful. Do you have any guys in the friend zone?
friend zone? Yeah, I friend zoned a lot of guys.
Friend zone a lot of guys?
Yeah.
Why? Not attracted to them? Not exciting enough?
Yeah, not attracted to them. Not my type at all.
Okay. Have you ever friend zoned a guy who's like good looking, but he just was maybe dull or didn't excite you?
No.
Oh, okay. What about you? Have you ever friend zoned a guy?
No, I haven't.
Never? Like
No.
there's never been a guy who's like, hey, I like you, and you're like, oh, that's so sweet, but can we just be friends?
Oh, yeah, actually I have. I had like 3 people fall in love with me when I worked at Hooters. But they were like my people
Hooters.
that were like regular people that would come in there.
Yeah.
And they were like older guys. Like they thought they had a chance with me or something. I don't know.